Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Apriliano. My student number is A320200119, and today I will present about grammar translation method. What is grammar translation method? Grammar translation method is a method of foreign or second language teaching which make use of translation and grammar study as the main teaching and learning activities. Or you could say teaching grammar with the main characteristic of focusing on translation and memorizing verb forms. In grammar translation class, students learn grammatical rules and then apply those rules by translating sentences between the target language and the native language. Advanced students may be required to translate whole text word for word. Next, history of grammar translation method. Grammar translation method is the old method teaching. Grammar translation method is a foreign language teaching method derived from the traditional method of teaching Greek and Latin. This method has been used from classical times to translate classical language, Latin and Greek. It has been called classical method or traditional method. Next, principle of grammatical translation method. First, the goal of foreign language study is to learn a language in order to read its literature. Vocabulary and grammar are emphasized. Vocabulary selection is based solely on the reading text used, and words are taught through bilingual word lists, dictionary study, and memorization. The sentence is the basic unit of teaching and language practice. Accuracy is emphasized. Grammar is taught deductively, that is, students are given grammar rules and examples and are told to memorize them, and then asked to apply the rules to other examples. The last, the student native language is the medium of instruction. Next, classroom techniques in grammatical translation method. The role of the teacher and the student. Reading comprehension activities. This means finding information in a passage, making inference and relating to personal experience. Next, translation of literary passage as the main classroom activity. This means translating the target language into the native language or translating the native language into the target language. Grammar activity, such as in teaching a particular lesson in grammar, ask the student to memorize the rules and they should give their sentence as sample. Vocabulary activity, such as the student to take 5 vocabulary words from their favorite song and then translate it into English. Okay, that's from me. The next presentation will be continued by my friend Jatmiko in the next video.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, good morning, good day, and good night. My name is Jatmiko. My student number is A320200112. So in this video, I would like to continue my friend's explanation about grammar translation method named Apriliano. So enjoy the video. Okay, so I will start from page 6. We have the objectives of learning about grammar translation method. One is to be able to read literature written in the target language. So after we learn about this method, we hope that we can be able to read literature or text in our target language. For example, we want to learn about English language. We are Indonesian people who doesn't use English language as our second language for daily. So after learn about this method, we hope we can be able to read literature in English language and we able to understand it. Number two is to be able to translate from one language to another. Just like we learn about and commonly we learn about a new language, we or hope we can translate our first language to our target language. For example, we want to learn about Spain. We are English people, or maybe we are an American. We want to learn about Spain. We want to speak well in Spain. It means you can translate your language to Spain language. So it is also GTM objectives after we learn about this method. Number three is to develop reading and writing skill. Of course, with learning this method we can increase our reading and writing skill in our target language. Just like we want to learn about Spain, just like I said before, Spanish. We want to learn about Spanish language. It also increase our reading and writing skill in those in that language, in the Spanish language. We can read something new in Spanish language, just like that. Next slide. There's we all know there is four language skill in English. I don't know is there is more than four language skill in another language in another country, but what I know in English language we have four main language skill, just like reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So what is the good impact? Simply, what is increase with us about this four main language by learning about this method? In reading skill, maybe in hope we after we learn about this method we can read literature in the target language, or read literature in the target language is the aim of this method. So it's not just we learn about this method to able to translate our language to another language, our target language. It's not like that. We also can increase our reading skill and the following skill, like writing, reading, and writing, listening, and speaking. And the second, for writing skill, reading and writing are studied at the same time. Yes, of course. Beside we reading, we have to know how to write it. We can't just write it without reading it. It's impossible to be exist. Next, listening skill. Little attention is given to listening. There is no listening training. It means we can't separate listening skill in this method because it is increased together beside the another languages. Yeah, just like that. Next is speaking skill. Also, this is an important aspect of the method. Yes, speaking skill is beside the listening skill because we can't speak without listening first. Without listened firstly, like that. Next slide. Yeah. There is always an advantages of learning something new. Include this grammar translation method. So what is the advantages we can get from this method? One is easiest for teachers to use. 2. Does not require teachers to speak good English or make good lesson preparation. 3. Only uses the textbook. 4. Least stressful for students. Teaching occurs in the first language. And 5. Students learn the new language without contact with native speakers. It means we don't have to spend much time to prepare a good lessons, material. It doesn't mean we prepare something bad. We still prepare something we want to teach, but it needs less preparation. Not like we use another method. Maybe we need to prepare something more complex, like that, and it doesn't require many tools, just textbook and a pen maybe, and the students can learn a new language without contact with native speakers. So if you want to learn about English language, you don't have to invite an American people or English natives to come to your class and learn about their language. Not like that. We also can teach our target language as an Indonesian people. It means like that. The disadvantages of grammar translation method. 1. Overemphasis on translation can never emancipate the learners from dependence on the first language. 2. The grammar translation puts too much emphasis on reading and writing and neglects listening and speaking. 3. In the grammar translation method, the texts are mostly taken from literary works. The language learned often doesn't meet the practical needs of the learners. 4. No scope for effective communication and very tedious for learner. Conclusion. Teaching involves any instructional technique that draws learners' attention to some specific grammatical form in such way that it helps them either to understand it metalinguistically and or process it in comprehension and or production so that they can internalize it. I hope you understand it well. Okay, I think that's all that I can explain. Hope you enjoy the video and understand the material well. Thank you for watching, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.